we can move on, I think.
Let's talk about the raids. We talked about it a little bit already, but we have 2 raids already. We've got Vault of Glass.
The good one.
Dark Below.
The cheesy one.
The cheesy one.
Well, they're both cheesy, to be honest.
What is like cheddar? What is sharp cheddar? And one is like a fine Gouda.
Yeah, there you go.
Well,
one's
one is like Limburger. And the other one, or it's like fine Gouda that turns to Limburger at the end. That's the problem.
Nerdy Nights Radio, Cheesecast.
Well, because
Cheesecast.
Vault of Glass is the best raid all the way up until you get to Atheon. And then it becomes the, please don't glitch, please don't glitch, please don't glitch. Oh, glitched. Yep. Please send the right people inside. Please send the right people. Oh, no. Okay, nope. Let's do it again. But this time with feeling. Like it's over and over. How many times did I actually say that when we were doing it?
to contrast Crota's Ed, when you get to Crota and you're like, please glitch, please glitch,
please glitch. Exactly. It's, can we glitch him?
Now, still like one of my fondest memories of Vault of Glass is going to be the first time that we tried to run Vault of Glass, and we made it through the wilderness. We made it through... No, we made it through the Templar, and we got to the Gorgon Maze. And at this
God!
At this point, I'm like, I don't know.
Hold on, guys!
Like 4 or 5 shots of whiskey in.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh god, this is difficult. Oh wait, I'm a hunter. I'm gonna go invisible. Peace out, you guys. And then I run out there.
That's a good idea. That's a good idea. 2 seconds later, honk. Hey, what do I do if I punch a Gorgon?
You've been spotted. Dead.
It's like, I wonder if I can blink strike a Gorgon and it will be okay. Nope. And like,
although
I
think that is followed up by what we actually did kill the Gorgon. That was pretty
I was gonna say we did kill one.
Yeah. I think one of the funniest things is that was one of Chris and I's first interactions with each other.
I was like, who's this drunk idiot?
So the entire time I'm thinking is, this guy is really legitimately like reading strategies online, trying to figure out how to get us through, saying, okay, we got to run to the rock, we got to climb up the rock, we got to wait for this Gorgon to go, and then I'm just like, woohoo, motherfuckers! And just, running
it was Ben, it was the start of a beautiful friendship.
You just literally hear Chris in the background going,
yeah. Nice audible sighs.
Like,
we've had a couple of those.
I'm legitimately crying right now. I'm laughing so hard about this. It's just some of my favorite memories were from doing the Atheon raid. Just because it was so freaking awesome. And then, that one was one that was truly rewarding to figure out each part.
Yeah, I remember being like white knuckled on because I was the first one when we did the Templar, and we had somebody up top to snipe the oracles, and I was the first one to go, I'll take that back left oracle that when you zoom in with the sniper you can only see a little corner of it, and I was like a sliver of it. No one else, we didn't have another strategy for it, so I was like, I got it. And I remember sitting there with my sniper, just like, do not fuck this up. Do not. We're not PG. Are we PG-13? Do not screw this up. Okay. Don't mess this up, because I don't want to wipe the raid because I miss a shot. But it was important to do that, and that was great. I remember the intensity of it.
And that's the thing about like the teamwork that came in that raid, where I think probably like 1 month or 2 months into it, one of the articles on the front page of the Reddit was this guy saying like, man, I love this raid so much. I wish I could just like buy 6 Xboxes, stick them in my office, and force my team to actually just play through this raid, and like to just show them what like teamwork actually means.
Yeah,
and I think that is a big point, is because like it became like, raid. Hey guys, you need to fucking communicate. Like, if you missed it, no problem. Let's send someone down and shoot the damn thing. But if you don't tell us and we just wipe,
then it's on you.
We're gonna get angry at you.
We are going to boot you.
Yeah.
We're going to boot you at some point.
Yeah.
And you know the teamwork
And we met
thing,
people that friends, so that's always good.
yeah, the teamwork aspect is huge. I mean, we're talking. This is a raid that legitimately requires at least some sort of team, because
Yeah.
there are parts that you cannot get through unless you have
Nope.
at least 4 people with you.
And I mean, even up until recently, the actually Atheon, if your team was not gelling, you could wipe on it 20 times.
Yeah, and
Until like if you tried to go in with 3 people who knew what they were doing and 3 pickups, you were hoping. So I mean, you were always better off with a well formed team.
When I think like this was probably maybe like halfway through when we were done enough with Crota where like some of us wanted Fatebringers, this guy, and we went through, and I think in one night we four-manned the raid with like one guy off LFG, and then like that guy had to go away, and then like a couple more of our friends came on, and then we like six-manned it, and the four-man we did in 2 tries, and the six-man
the
it took
six
us like
man
another hour and a half,
for no
which is
reason.
ridiculous.
Yeah, absolutely.
Was was that the one where I was like on sleeping medication and I was the guy that came in? No, I'm just kidding. Because you're like,
Um,
Chris, come help, and I'm like, I did that at least once where I had taken a sleeping pill and I was like an hour past when I should have been asleep, and I was doing an Atheon raid to help someone get a piece of gear they needed.
it was probably me in my Vex Mythic class because I didn't get it until the 98th hard mode completion.
Yeah.
I like how
I'm
you
not
kind of-
bitter about that at all.
Somebody didn't get a G-horn until just,
Nope.
How long did it take you, Sam?
A really long time.
That was
I think
crazy.
it was like
Oh,
February. I think it was legitimately February when I got
have you guys done the tally, by the way, on your total days played?
No,
Uh,
because I've
uh,
restarted characters so many times that it
Oh,
doesn't.
you've got to.
Oh,
It's not
I
accurate.
have-
All you have to do really is go in and estimate like if you have one that's been replaced with the other two, and you can get close. So like if you have one primary, you look
I
at the other
have-
two.
Each character has been restarted
all
at
right.
least once.
What's the easiest way to look at this, Chris?
You have to go look at each character individually on Bungie.
Yeah,
and just look
at
we
the
can figure
stats?
this out later. This isn't
Yeah,
the figure
no big
out how
deal.
long you've played Destiny cast. This is
No.
this is the Destiny cast.
40 days.
40 days.
40 days. Don't tell my wife.
46 days.
My question for you is, what is your wish list for the Taken King raid?
Stuff?
It needs to be as well thought out as well. It needs to have as much communication and teamwork as the Vault of Glass,
Mhm.
without a glitchy end boss.
Yeah.
That's it.
I agree with that. So like when they
And
showed
longer.
off some of when they showed off some of the Court of Oryx stuff, like how there are a bunch of bosses that require you to do something special with them in order to get their shields down.
Mhm.
I want shit like that. Like
Oh, where
you
the
have
raid
to-
changes?
Yeah, like you
Yeah.
you have to explode this thrall next to this knight in order to be able to do damage on the knight, or these two knights have to be close to each other in order for you
Well,
to do
you
damage.
saw, I mean, with the strikes, where they're having it where certain parts of the strike are randomly generated each time.
Yeah.
So I think in the raid, to have, either the positioning of the bad guys, like say you have to go down a corridor that has a whole bunch of hidey holes for people to come out and shoot, and normally we just kind of get in position, everyone knows where to fire, and you go. Imagine how nice that would be if the bad guys in that hallway changed every raid, and the positioning changed every raid.
Absolutely.
Well-
And all the entire time you're saying, okay, so we're gonna run, the Falcon strategy. I just made up a strategy name.
The Flying V, guys! Flying V!
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's essentially just like the randomness of being sent in into one of the portals by Atheon. It's like, okay, Chris, you were sent in. You're gonna pick up the thing. Okay, I was sent in, and you were sent in. I'm going to pick it up. You're going to do this. I want that. I want something where
Only
they're like,
without
okay,
it glitching.
Exactly.
Well, and I think if I look at the raid in general, between both raids, and this is someone who hasn't played WoW at all, except for like the 2 hours that Chris made me play. That being the most expensive gaming I did. No, I'm just kidding. But I think there's three big components I think out of any raid that we've seen in Destiny. One is the loot and the loot system. The second one is the amount of skill it takes to actually complete the raid, and the third is how easy it is to kind of try to figure out how to do stuff in the raid. And where I think for Atheon or for Vault of Glass, figuring it out was a key component, and skill was there, but it wasn't a highlight. Like once they made it completely random and you had to have relic bearers who didn't suck, there was that skill component. I think being one of the guys who played Hunter a lot on Crota's End and being sword bearer, I think that was way in the other direction, where became like a more skill mechanic. The loot system was great, but then there wasn't a ton to figure out.
One person to be super, super skilled, and everyone else just kind of had to not screw up. And Atheon, everyone had to be equally skilled, and you had to hope the game didn't screw up.
Yeah,
which is the problem.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
we can hope we can find a balance where it's the good parts of both together as opposed to the bad parts. Because how much fun would it be if it was like, well, you can only complete this if you're a warlock, and the boss doesn't like glitch into the mountain and become immune. Like, oh,
and I think
when my boss glitches into a mountain.
You know what I'm saying? Like something like that. If he teleports out of the ship, you're like, well, there goes that.
Yeah, and I think to that end, one thing that's would have been on my wish list, which I think was on my wish list for Crota's End as well, was to like make each class relevant. Yeah. Like something that each class actually does better than another class should be part of the raid. So you're not doing the raid as like 6 Titans for some reason.
Which I think Crota's End got really close because you had parts where like. So the very first part, Titans were great with their bubbles because you could go through there, and every time you had a Titan bubble down, you could actually stop and rest at the lamps. The way they designed it, if you couldn't glitch through it, which we all did, but if you could do that properly, Titans were great there. Warlocks were great at the bridge.
Yeah.
So and then
Titans were also good at the bridge because they had suppressor grenades. Like if you couldn't down the guy with the sword fast enough, you could pop the bubble.
Specifically for glitching, what's funny is the Titan was great at the first part because of high jump. The second glitch, Warlocks were great because they could die and come back to life. And the third part, if you didn't have a Hunter, you couldn't complete it anyway.
Yeah.
Well, you could, but not on hard mode.
Yeah. And that's where even.
Go ahead.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say even like the little stuff we saw about the thing of Oryx. What was it? What was the thing on stream? The court of Oryx.
Court of Oryx. Yeah.
Where like you had that one set of like Taken Knight, regular Knight boss, where like if you got them close to each other, then the Hunter could do the super and like tie them down to force their shields to collapse. That's cool.
Exactly. The fact that the Hunter has a much more supportive ability other than just being able to go invisible and either go revive people or hide.
Res people.
It is really, really exciting. I've wanted to say something for like the last 5 minutes and now I can't remember what it was. I've been just trying to jump right into it, but I can't remember. So let's move out of raids. And let's talk about strikes.